So, Steven Spielberg, the greatest director, probably one of the greatest directors of all time. Is there anything he can't do? Is there anything he hasn't done? Well, he hasn't done his life bio, or actually, he has now. So, let's go and check it out and see is it as good as everything else he's done. Hello and welcome to another video here at Movie Mash, and today we're going to talk about The Fabelmans. But before I carry on, hit that subscribe button just there, like and subscribe, hit it just there, come on, it'll only take you a few seconds. Now, let's get to it. So, The Fabelmans, starring Gabrielle LaBelle, Michelle Williams, Paul Dano and Seth Rogen, directed by Steven Spielberg. Now, as far as I know, this is loosely based on his life story. I mean, how loosely, I don't know. How closely, I don't know. But one thing I will say is, watching the movie, I can probably tell what definitely happened and what maybe happened. You'll know what I mean if you see it. But let's just get to the synopsis. So the synopsis goes, there's a young boy who's brought to the movies by his parents in the early 50s and blown away by the magic of cinema. And I can relate to that. And still, obviously, Spielberg had. And growing up using recording everything and making videos of himself, he comes across a family secret that changes the dynamics of his family life, which changes everything for him. You could say throws a spanner in the works, how he sees his mum and dad. And it's a coming of age type movie. It's all about making movies and how the love of cinema and family life and growing up. Basically, that's what it is. And for anyone who don't know, he became a director. The world's greatest, actually. Now, I've been looking forward to watching this for a while because it's Steven Spielberg. I wondered, though, if had been any other director making this based on their own life, would I have been as intrigued about it? I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. But the fact that it was Steven Spielberg about his life and the magic of movies and growing up made me just have to see it. I want to watch it. I love Spielberg. He's great. I actually really enjoyed this movie. I thought it was a really nice film. It was nothing like, how can I say, it's not going to blow people away as such. It's a drama. It's a coming of age drama. And I really liked it. I loved how it looked. And I'm just going to jump into the positives before we carry on, because I'm just going to start telling you all the positives straight away. So the positives. The acting was great all round. Yeah. Now, I'm going to say that Michelle Williams was the standout. Now, Paul Dano, as last time we saw him playing the Riddler in Batman, he has come up in the ranks of acting. We all know he is a good actor and he brings his A game on this. But I feel like the standout on this was Michelle Williams. She is really, really good on this. And I'm thinking Oscar buzz here, to be honest with you. And not just because of Steven Spielberg, but she's really good on it. Paul Dano, great. Now, I don't know if anyone knows, but the actor of Judd Harsh, I can't pronounce his name. He's been around. I haven't seen him in a while, but he had a small little role on this. And the small little role he had was memorable. I'm wondering more Oscar buzz. I don't know. It was a small part, but what he brought onto the little part he was in was just unforgettable. The cinematography, Steven Spielberg. The acting brought out on it, Steven Spielberg. The music. This is a Steven Spielberg film. It's going to be good. If the story's crap, everything else is going to be good, but the story wasn't. It's just an all-round great kind of feel-good type movie with a few bit of element of drama here and there, coming of age. It's about a young boy growing up, learning how to make movies, becoming... Everyone loves him for how good he is. He's shockingly good because the way he has an eye on everything. And I understand, YouTube has helped me be able to kind of do stuff like this. Not like Steven Spielberg. But I've always liked it and wanted to be able to do it. And YouTube has helped me be able to do this. I've seen him do it. I've impressed certain people who didn't think I could do certain things. I've impressed myself. So I can understand when he's impressing people by what he's able to do. Now, he's moved around a lot by his family because of his dad's job. And his dad sometimes it feels like his dad's job is more important than the family. But it isn't. It's just the way he is. It's the way he brought up. They're a Jewish family. Obviously, if you don't know, Steven Spielberg is Jewish. They're a Jewish family living in a place where there isn't many Jews. and he gets bullied over it and stuff like that. But through making movies and his little editing and all his little things he's doing, kind of make people see him for who he is and how special he really was. Now, again, it's a coming of age, and I love these coming of age things. And watching this, and I'm looking at it, is this Steven Spielberg's life? The actor, his name is Gabriel Labelle. He actually, I don't know, parts of it kind of made me feel like he was Steven Spielberg. He did a good job. I feel like there's sometimes I was like looking at him thinking, you do feel like you could be the young Steven Spielberg. And I thought he did a really good job. This film is just bang on. The music's really good. It was written by Steven Spielberg as well. Steven Spielberg is the man. He has now done everything, and now he's done his own bio. So yeah, now let's just jump into the negatives. Now, when it comes to the negatives, I don't have any. I really don't, because it's not a sci-fi movie. It's not an action movie. It's a drama. Now, the only thing I will say, and this is more, I don't know if it's a negative or not. It wasn't like a hard-hitting movie. Like, it didn't make me choke up at any time. I was expecting kind of moments where I'd get the lump in my throat or something, and I didn't get that. And I was kind of hoping I would, but again, you know what? If he's telling a story as accurate as he can, he's not going to just start throwing stuff in for the sake of it. And there is some moments where you feel bad for people, and there's moments where you feel sad for people and happy for people. But there was no moments where I was like, that was hard hitting, that brought water to my eyes. There was none of that. And I was hoping for something more hard hitting like that. But it doesn't matter. You know what? It was still a great show. I reckon, now going back onto positives, I reckon there's going to be a lot of Oscar buzz on this. And it's not simply because of Steven Spielberg, who seems to bring the best out of his actors. Like, I've seen Michelle Williams on a few things, and I thought she was all right on what I've saw. But this is the thing that will make it memorable to me. Paul Dano, I think when it comes to him, when it comes to There Will Be Blood, as we all know, and the last, what was it, the Riddler, he played there recently. We all know he's a good actor. He brought his A game again, so we all know this. But Michelle Williams, she was the standout for 100%. I liked, there's so many little things that you like, and watching, I'm like, is that something to do with that Super 8? Is that got something to do with Back to the Future? As this guy, he's like old. I know he didn't direct Back to the Future, but he produced it and stuff like that. So all these little elements, I'm like, is that got to do with that, or is it just me reading into it too much? But I enjoyed it anyway. It was set in the 50s and 60s, and you know what? It looked great. It's a really good movie. Now, if you get a chance to see this on the big screen, I really recommend you see it. If you love making movies, or if you'd love to been able to make movies, or you just want to see how Steven Spielberg kind of started out, then this definitely is for you. And if you don't like all that, I still think you'll enjoy it anyway. It's not a horror, it's not sci-fi. When you see Steven Spielberg, don't expect all that. You're just getting a bio of a coming of an age movie of a young man growing up who wants to make movies. And as I said, spoiler, he's the biggest director in the world now. So, it worked out. But anyway, look, what do you think? Have you seen it? Are you looking forward to seeing it? Do you love Steven Spielberg? Do you think that Steven Spielberg could be the greatest director of all time ever? I mean, look, people who don't know, he made Jaws. Jaws was the first ever summer blockbuster. Yeah, there was no such thing as a summer blockbuster back then. It was just when the film was made, it was released when it could be. Now that we have every year, we have the sun, and that was the first. He's the man when it comes to making movies. Anyway, look, I'm just going to ramble on because I love Steven Spielberg, right? He deservingly is where he should be, and that's all I got to say. And he's hit again with another home run as far as I'm concerned. But I just want to know, do you think the same? But for now, and until next time,